After my wife Elena passed away, I found an old diary tucked away at the bottom of her closet. I always believed our marriage was perfect, but a single sentence on the final page shattered my soul. She had written, "Michael gave me a diamond necklace, but I wish he had just given me 10 minutes of his time." Today, I still have that diamond, but the heart that only ever wanted my time has turned to ash. My name is Michael, and I am 70 years old, sitting here in a house that feels far too large for a man who has finally learned the true value of a single moment. I look out at the garden, the same one where Elena used to sit every evening, and I am haunted by the silence that I once mistook for peace. If I could trade every cent of my retirement, every brick of this house, and every award I ever won in my career for just 1 hour of the year 1995, I would do it without a second thought. I would go back to those evenings when she would wait for me by the door, her eyes bright with the hope of sharing her day, only to be met by my exhausted sighs and my constant refrain of being too busy. We were married for 35 years, and for 30 of those years I convinced myself that I was the perfect husband because I provided a life of luxury, never realizing that while I was building a castle, I was letting the queen within it wither away from emotional starvation. Elena was the kind of woman who saw beauty in things I considered mundane. She loved the way the sunlight hit the kitchen floor in the morning, and how the sound of the rain meant we had an excuse to stay inside and talk. But as the years went by, I stopped listening to her stories about the birds in the garden or the book she was reading because I was too preoccupied with the next promotion or the next big deal. I thought that by being a man who never cheated, never raised his voice, and always paid the bills on time, I had fulfilled my contract of love. But love is not a contract. It is a living, breathing thing that requires the oxygen of attention. I remember one specific summer evening when she begged me to take a simple walk to the park just to see the sunset, and I told her I had emails to answer, not knowing that sunsets are finite and emails are infinite. She stopped asking eventually, and that was the most dangerous moment in our marriage, the moment she accepted my absence while I was still physically present in the room. After she passed away 2 years ago from an illness that took her far too quickly, I found a small, leather-bound diary hidden beneath her side of the bed, and reading it was like meeting a stranger I had lived with for decades. She wrote about the loneliness that felt like a physical weight, about how she would dress up for our anniversaries only for me to spend the entire dinner checking my phone, and how she felt invisible in her own home. One entry broke me completely. It was from a night when I had brought home an expensive necklace to apologize for missing her birthday, and she wrote that she would have traded 1,000 diamonds for just 10 minutes of me looking into her eyes and truly seeing her. I was providing for her future while neglecting her present. And now that the future is here, I am all alone with the things I thought mattered, realizing that the only thing that ever truly mattered was the woman I took for granted every single day. Now, as I sit in this echo of a home, I want to tell anyone who is still lucky enough to have someone waiting for them to stop whatever they are doing and just listen. Do not wait for a special occasion to be kind. Do not wait for a holiday to be present. Do not assume that tomorrow is a guarantee, because tomorrow is a thief that steals the opportunities of today. The greatest betrayal in a relationship isn't always a dramatic act. Sometimes it is the slow, quiet erosion of intimacy caused by benign neglect and the arrogant belief that your partner will always be there. I am Michael, a man who has everything but the only thing he ever needed, and I am telling you to choose connection over comfort and being close over being right. Because the regret of a missed conversation is a burden that grows heavier with every passing year. Love is not found in the grand gestures that the world sees, but in the tiny, unremarkable moments that only the two of you share. And if you don't cherish those moments while they are happening, you will spend the rest of your life trying to find them in the shadows of your memory.